Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase 2. Vamos embora que eu estou curioso para ver isto. Ok. Ah, isto é a figura. Ok. Isto é o que vem com a Deluxe Edition, não? Não, não pode. Claro que não. Uau, isto está muito interessante. Ok. Deixa eu ver se está na qualidade máxima. Não, não está. Vamos pôr em 4K. Tipo, só para
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm
Gonna
Chandler Wood,
Chandler
Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today.
Tem cara.
First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Mano, aquela chavala parece a Cat Rocks, what the fuck?
I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
Ok, está.
And from the Avalanche team, we have Game Director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody.
And Systems Designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally,
Coitada, a
just
Mackenzie é
off-screen
bué da
capturing
tímida.
gameplay for
Nota-se
us,
está bué
Andrew
desconfortável.
Coram. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broom Flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Ok, nice.
And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world. And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere.
Tangled.
There's something about kind of like
parece, por acaso simples.
of everything being open to you.
Olha, isto,
And
mano,
just
espera, primeiro que tudo, como é que a cabana do Hagrid já existia nesta
I
altura?
love
É
the
estranho.
proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground. And
Tipo, quem é o Hagrid que vive aqui?
I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like
Vilela, como é que
you
estás?
know, the
mano?
brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not
Podem
just
entrar
I
no
have a
Among Us,
broom
se
and
quiser.
it's done. I actually kind of like some of the
Afinal há mais
mechanics in it.
cabanas,
So
não
you
é
can-
só a do Hagrid.
You see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is
Ok,
well
por
known
acaso
and
está melhor
advanced
o Broom
and
Flying.
everything that we know and love. This is
Não
an
tá.
earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, you know, we're not at the 3000 yet, we're at the 11. So
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world is
Não,
so...
descendente não podia ser, podia ser um ascendente e mesmo assim não faz sentido.
Only one or two?
Porque o Hagrid é filho de um Giant e de
Yeah, so
uma...
we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually, a broom shop.
Não, é de
And
uma,
so that
de uma
sells a
Giant
variety
e
of
de um
different
humano, né?
brooms. And it was important to
Acho que
us
sim.
that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you
Mano,
talk to the shopkeep
o flying
and help them out,
mechanic
they'll
tá
actually
fixe, bro.
sell upgrades.
yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where
Mano, isto
normally
está tão
the
bom,
broom
meu Deus.
you can only fly you can
Mano,
only
este
go
jogo
at
está tão
max
lindo,
speed. It's
puto.
called turbo meter
Mano, eu
down
estou a
there.
morrer.
You can only
Eu não
go
acredito
at
que isto
max
está a
speed
acontecer
without
sequer,
the
bro.
meter
Isto
going
parece
down,
mentira.
kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise
Isto
into
parece
the
bué
air,
mentira,
you notice
bro.
the meter drop.
Mano, eu
And
acho
so
que vou
those
explorar
upgrades will
bué
allow
este
you
jogo.
to increase that
Tipo, acho que
distance
vamos
from
só
the ground,
cagar no resto
and
dos jogos todos.
The broom
E vou
owner
só
at-
ficar a jogar
at the
isto durante
sporting
mês.
store in Hogsmeade is trying
Yeah,
to
provável,
perfect the
Laser, yeah.
broom and get better at it and,
Vai ser em
and know
fevereiro,
it better,
malta.
and you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to point B. You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground
And
level.
Foi
to me, it feels
adiado
like
para
it's got this
abril.
kind of surfing
Não,
vibe over
acho que
the-
não, bro.
Oh my God, like I'm just like
Só
I
se
want
foi
to
agora.
snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to that.
Isso é-
mountaintop,
PS4
I wanna go to
e
the
Xbox One,
forest,
sim,
and
isso
to
foi.
the hamlet, or I don't know. That's how it's called.
Tá
I
bem.
think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome.
olhem
but
que
we're-
fixe, bro.
well,
Bro,
we're
bro.
gonna we're
Olhem Hogwarts à distância, bro. Olha
actually
que
gonna land
fixe,
here,
bro.
and I feel like
Não,
the
não, não,
way
é
we call it
fevereiro, continua a ser
Hamlet
fevereiro,
is just perfect just because
E
that's
PC,
what we
malta.
refer to that as. And so
Ah,
we all
ok.
know from
Vai
lore
ser,
that
bro.
Hogsmeade is the only all wizarding village within Britain. But we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape so it's not just kind of, barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And
Man, isto
so
é
we
muito
just
fixe.
imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those, and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you'll also notice on the mini-map like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in
Ai,
in the
mano, se
hamlets
desse
that
para
you can
fazer
participate
RP
in.
aqui,
You know,
Daisy,
whether
meu
it's a
Deus,
vendor
bro.
or different
Se eles
puzzles and
lançarem a
challenges
cena,
or different
puto.
secrets that exist.
Ai, bro,
Each one of those
imagina
icons
isso,
are
puto.
different
Eu acho
options
que
for gameplay.
duvido que isso vá
And
acontecer.
you'll notice that same thing as we
Ai,
venture
bro, mas se
out into the
acontecesse.
open world as well. So when you go out into
De
the open
maneira
world and you see those
inimaginável,
icons, whether they're on the
potencial.
mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are
Yeah,
opportunities
pode,
to
João.
say, like, I want
Acho que
to
sim.
increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If
Era
you see
incrível, bro.
runes
Ei,
off
ele
in
levar-me isto à
the
risca,
distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you
Isso dizia-vos logo à partida, mano. Se houvesse tipo RP deste jogo, eu queria estar envolvido no primeiro servidor português. Tipo, de alguma maneira, pá, nem que fosse a promover a cena, queria bué estar envolvido. Tipo, mano, adorava fazer RP nisto, mano. Adorava.
And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
Ok?
I
Pá,
mean, I ran
o
away
jogo
when I
parece-me
just
sólido,
cover
mano.
all of those
Até agora, não
points
sei onde é
on
que
the
eles estão a
map,
correr
just by
isto.
going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount.
Oh my
We're
fucking
going to
God,
hop on
bro.
our
Ai, mano,
Onyx
vou ficar
Hippogriff
doente.
here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the back. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse. I mean, that is
Ai, mano, eu não acredito,
horse?
mano. Eu vou ficar
Yeah,
doente, bro.
as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift up
Ai,
into the
bro,
air.
mano, o que é
And
que se
we
está a
tried to make
passar?
sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at
Ai,
at
bro, what the
traveling the world
fuck?
as quickly as possible. But sometimes
Yeah,
it's
mas isto
really
é um
nice
Onyx
to get on the
Hippogriff,
hippogriff because of that
portanto,
ground
é-
speed,
não é o Buckbeak,
or those
malta.
transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing just to
Ai, bro,
be
que
riding
mano.
around on a
Ouça,
hippogriff.
estou-me a lembrar daquela
Yeah,
cena do
it's-
Harry Potter a
it
voar por
really
cima
is
do
kind of
lago.
like, I don't know, it's a great feeling
Tipo,
being
o
on it,
gajo
and it's a
o
great feeling
Buckbeak
managing
a
those
planar
transitions kind of
e a
going
música
from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. We try to make sure
Ai,
that,
a puto.
that each
Que
one of these
épico.
things that you can interact with have a unique
Jesus
identity and a
Christ.
reason for being.
And oh my god, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah,
or,
as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from
Okay.
that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so
Okay.
you might find more difficult challenges in different areas,
Okay.
and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned, the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world, just
Bro,
to kind
estes
of
gajos, mano, o jogo que estes
pepper
gajos
your
fizeram,
experience,
puto, eu não
reward you for
acredito.
exploring, keep things
Como é que é
fresh,
possível?
all
Mano,
those
estes
things
gajos deram
that-
tudo aquilo que nós queremos.
But
Mas não
I
vai,
love
Deisa,
that
não vai. Porque
windmill.
aquilo
It's
que
like
estamos a ver
so
aqui, mano, isto não pode ser um mau
rustic.
jogo,
Like I
bro.
keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it just
Não pode ser, mano.
it's part of it.
Yeah,
Ai, adorava
love
que eles
this Vista
fizessem
too, and
Quidditch nesta merda,
I'm gonna
bro.
have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like.
Uau,
with covered
ai
in
a
snow.
puto, mano, eu estou doente. O que é que se
Yes,
está a
yes,
passar,
please.
mano?
I love snow.
Estou tão entusiasmado para este jogo.
That's all I want.
Oh, baby.
Mano, opa, meu, por amor de Deus, puto, o que é que estes gajos fizeram aqui?
This is so pretty. Like it looks so realistic.
Ai, eu jogava no Harry Potter da PS1, mano, Quidditch.
Oh my god. Does
Ai,
it
ó,
have,
puto,
like,
isto é surreal, mano. Isto,
actual,
mano, eu vou
gameplay
ficar tão sem
impact,
vida.
Like, impact on the
Em
gameplay?
fevereiro.
Or does it like it's just
Mano, eu
the
vou
weather?
cancelar as campanhas todas que tenho para fevereiro.
Yeah, we use it,
E dizer,
we
mano, eu
really
não
use it
quero
as a narrative
publicidade.
marker through-
Eu vou só
through the
viver
game. So as you're progressing
Harry
through the
Potter
storyline, it was
desculpem.
important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the
Ai,
movies.
mano, por
where,
amor de
you know,
Deus, eu
you
vou
see
passar
kind of
mês
the
inteiro a
title
jogar
called
isto.
Winter, and now the landscape
Caguei
is
nos outros
changing,
jogos,
and you're
desculpem.
really feeling those that passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at Hogwarts.
Mano, eu tenho quase a certeza que isto vai ser daqueles jogos.
And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the
Mano, eu
outside,
tenho a certeza que isto vai ser
which
daqueles jogos que eu
agree.
tipo
I think
que eu
really
vou ficar bué triste quando
but
acabar.
within the school as well.
Estão a
So
ver?
there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays. And
Yeah, eu
the
já
school reacts to holidays, and you see
eu
the
já dei
decorations
pre-order
around
na
those
Instant,
environments
dei
change.
mesmo pre-order na
That
Instant.
really helped
Mas
just
eu não
kind
sei
of
até que
make
ponto é
you
que,
feel
pá, eu não
like
sei
I'm
se é
there.
de jogar isto na PlayStation ou na
And it's not just
ou no PC.
It's not
Portanto, esse cara
just,
também vou dar
for the
pre-order na
seasons,
PlayStation.
Those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that
Não
day-night
sei, bro.
cycle,
I don't know.
even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe. When you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets
Pá,
down.
imagina, eu não sei se
When
vou
it
cagar
gets
no Among Us,
candlelight
mas
and
vou,
students
se calhar
kind
vou
of
cagar
like
nos
as you're
outros
walking
jogos.
through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where
É
we
pá,
kind of
Laser, mas ouve,
place,
bro, imagina, eu não estou com
a
essa
few
impressão,
items
mano.
where,
Tipo,
you
tu
know,
estás a ver,
whether
o
or
jogo
not
está
you
bué da
can click on it,
populado,
whether or not you
tens,
can
parece-me
interact
teres
with
ícones
a
no
little bit
minimapa.
restricted
Eu
by
estou à
the
frente do
day-night
minimapa, vocês não estão a ver.
And I
Mas parece-me
love
haver bué da
Andrew
ícones no
flying up
minimapa.
here, really high
Olhem
up
lá.
on the hippogriff. And
Olhem
we're
lá
just
o
looking
minimapa
at this
cheio de ícones,
view
tipo,
of
em zonas
Hogwarts
fora
in
do
the
mapa.
distance. It's just
De
absolutely
Hogwarts.
beautiful. It's part of what I love
Tipo,
most
é bué
about
das, mas
flying
não sei,
around in
bro.
this game, whether it's on a
Parece-me estar
hippogriff
bué,
or
estar
on the
com bué
moon.
cenas.
No,
Eu não sei.
I mean, you talk about going
Ai, mano,
anywhere,
se houvesse
things that you
RP
can
nesta
sort of
merda,
distance,
bro,
that's
eu
one
chorava.
way.
Mano, fazíamos só
I
RP
still
em
can't get
Hogwarts.
over,
Tipo,
like,
só em Hogwarts.
no matter- I
Imagina
play
encher
this
um
so
server
much, but
com
I
400
still
pessoas a
can't
fazer
get over
RP
the
em
fact that
Hogwarts.
I can see Hogwarts
Tipo, toda a
out
gente
there,
lá
and
dentro,
there's
tipo,
just something
uns
beautiful
gajos a
about
fazerem
knowing that
professores,
all of-
outro a
all
fazer
of the things
diretor,
inside
outro a
of it,
fazer
the
alunos.
classrooms,
Puto,
the students,
eu tive esta
the professors,
ideia.
all the places I can
Eu
go,
tive esta
I can
ideia no
just
Abo
fly
Hotel.
my hippogriff,
Eu
land in
literalmente
the
fiz
courtyard,
uma
enter the front
Hogwarts
door,
no Abo
and just
Hotel.
walk, to the
E fazia
library,
diretor
to
da escola. E andava lá e bué da pessoal do Abo
but it's
Hotel a
all
fazer alunos e o
contiguous
caralho.
and just kind of like
Puto,
one-
podermos
one
fazer
space
esta
is still
merda
exciting to me.
num jogo
I mean,
nesta
I'm
escala, mano. Ai,
I'm
Jesus.
speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just, oh my god.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the
Como é que
world,
falava de forma
I
normal?
think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time
Finalmente
we're
ia
gonna
poder dar
really
vida ao
go,
Tiago
a lot
Potter.
more of a deep dive
Que é o James
on,
Potter.
using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which
Que é o
is part of our
James
deluxe
Potter
edition.
em brasileiro.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts
Wow.
Battle Arena
What
is,
the fuck,
which is part of the Deluxe and
Ambient.
Digital Deluxe Edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
Reason to
Bro.
go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly.
Forbidden
There are
Forest.
many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. So we're going
Bro.
full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's what I like going down.
But I like this this battle arena.
Man, a
It is a
Forbidden
great
Forest
place to show off
Está tão semelhante.
really combat in a big way,
aos
which unlocks
filmes.
some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do-
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those.
Ok.
And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight
Mas esta
through
merda
multiple
podia
ways
ser um MMO
in
na
order
boa, bro.
to earn a different
Deve ter,
cosmetic
Reage.
for your character.
Já
and
existia
have that
nesta
for your
altura.
collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices
Okay.
in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire.
Wow.
And they can also commit to that
Weather
down
spells.
with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things.
Pá,
as kind of
daquilo que eu
like a way to
percebo é
test them
muito
all.
antes do
And
Harry
so it's a
Potter.
chance to kind of like
Portanto,
tour
deve
and
ser
play
talvez
with the Dark Arts
1600,
and decide
1500.
whether or not that is a path
Estás a ver?
that you kind of want to go.
Não sei, pá, eu sei
But-
já soube
but
qual era
yeah,
a timeline, mas
everyone has
entretanto
the same
esqueci-me.
ability
Mas é
to
muito antes dos
explore-
primeiros
explore
filmes.
the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
Obrigado, Senão. Obrigado pelos 19 pelo rei.
Oh, they just about the cadavers right away. Oh my god.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god. Is
Strong.
was that Kujio? Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant
eles não
to
dizem o nome
0,
dos
and we really
feitiços,
are
tipo.
trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
Yeah, a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its
Sai
extreme
para a
powers.
Switch, sim, também. Não sei como é que eles vão fazer isto
Fun to
lá na
use, and
Switch.
there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to
1820?
adjust.
Ah, então é 100 anos
But I
antes.
don't know. I don't know if there's things on the screen that you can.
Então é 100 anos antes do Harry Potter. Skin, obrigado pelos 6 meses, mano. Thank you. Pá, imagina, a frame rate não me parece ótima, mas também não me parece péssima. Isto é um work in progress ainda. O jogo ainda não está gold. Ganha skin, pá, obrigado pelos 6 meses.
Have questions about?
Well, like I see like
Tens de
little
pagar para
blue
ter os efeitos.
things
Quais efeitos?
pop up from
Yeah.
the enemies. Also, before like that sign, well, it's like so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called
Yeah.
in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic.
Ah, mas a Avada Kedavra
So it is ancient
Tem
magic.
That is,
tem
yeah.
cooldown
as
gigantesco.
your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own
A Avada Kedavra
history
tem
and your
tem
own-
cooldown
your own
gigantesco.
abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell
Oh,
to do a
that's-
ton
Claro,
of
era
damage
muito
against the
OP se
character.
fosse
And the
spell
way that
com baixo
manifests
cooldown.
itself depends on the type of enemy that
Protego.
you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing
Eu não
different things in
conseguia
combat,
perceber,
you're
se eu-
and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spectate with your talents. There are different ways
Mano,
to
o
get
combate
that
parece
meter to
bué
go
da fixe.
faster and faster. So one of
Tava
the
com-
most
tava
effective
com medo do
ways
combate, mas
to
parece
build
bué
up
da
that
fixe.
meter fast. That way you can launch these devastating attacks.
Eu ainda não vi a
against
música,
monsters.
portanto não me spoilem.
Is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo.
Loyalist
And
Warrior.
it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone.
Aposto
But
mais
as
tarde
the
o gajo
combo
vai dar
meter builds
aqueles
up, At
jumps.
some point, you strike someone, and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see the blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that
Isso é bom
only
porque
you
eu
can
adorava os da
see
PS2.
in the narrative in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to.
Eu dá-me a
that
ideia que é
ancient
tipo o
magic
género de um
meter.
finisher, estás a ver?
Talking a lot about
Os gajos têm a
about
marca verde,
spells,
tu podes dar
and
uma Avada
magic here,
Kedavra
but I
nos
think there's
gajos.
another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think
Pá, não sei,
Mackenzie
bro.
knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And
Eu
so
se jogar no PC, vou
the
jogar de
tools are
comando.
really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring
Vais,
the
Richie,
potions and the plants that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently.
Modo história, aqui,
So
isto é
some of the
jogo
tools
de
that you'll
história,
see
bro.
here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky
Pá, é normal,
material
bro. O jogo
that
desta escala open world é normal.
reduces
Mountain
the
Troll.
incoming
Holy
damage
shit,
that you're
parece uma
receiving.
merda do
So
Senhor dos
against
Anéis.
big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, he's just destroying.
Uau, o Avada Kedavra mata trolls também.
Obviously, we have the Wig and Will potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns
Wow.
regain.
Right.
Bro, eu não vou querer ser um Dark
There's
Wizard.
just so much,
Eu
like,
percebo o OP que é,
versatility, like what the character
mas eu não vou
is
querer
doing
ser um
to
Dark
the
Wizard.
troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not. And
Mano,
the
o gajo
troll
acabou
makes
de
him
matar
move
dois
around
dois
too,
trolls
like-
bué rápido.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like the
Again, man, what
venomous
the fuck?
tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
Mano, eu
That is
imagino, eu
so
presumo
cool.
que os
This is
bosses
like a truly like Hufflepuff
possam
way to
tipo
go.
dar protego ao
The
Avada
battle.
Kedavra.
Yes.
Faz
No,
sentido,
that's
tipo,
super
não se
cool.
deixarem
So there
mover
were
para aquilo.
things like multiple
Mano,
ways, and so you
Avada
can see
Kedavra-
there's
a cadáver
a
pode ser
ton of different ways
bloqueada.
you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cries enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style.
Não, é para mudarem os
So this is a way to, if you
Não
want
pode
to
ser
get stuck in your
todos
style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over
Levy
here that
corpus.
may make you use certain plants or certain potions.
Malta,
or
parem de começar a
block
dizer isto.
more, or
Man, parem
we
com essa
mentioned
merda
the
de
field
dizer
guide
jogo do ano antes do
challenges,
jogo sair. Tipo, eu percebo a cena, mas
prior
man, não
stream,
façam a
and the
merda
field
que
guide
fizeram com o
challenges,
Elden Ring.
this is the way that the field
Isso
guide
causa bué hype
manifests, like,
desnecessário.
challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore
Não
the
sei,
different
bro, não
systems,
sei.
to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to do.
Deve
Because there
haver,
really are
tipo,
so
se fazes
many
um
different
Good
ways
Wizard
that
não
you can
podes.
push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
right.
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these
Ok,
different
tu, mano,
characters
estou
on the
gostando do combate
battlefield.
até agora.
That way,
Aqui na arena
as you
parece-me um
get
bocado
the-
repetitivo,
as
mas
you're
acho que é
cursing
normal.
different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Golden War fantasy.
Uau.
And so,
Oh my god.
there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts character, things like that. That misty
Wow.
step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield, and we can also
Mano, o gajo
speculate
transforma
through
pessoas
our
em
potions
galinhas,
to
bro.
make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's
Wow.
all about which type of player.
Deduzo
you
também
feel
possas
like
ser
you
um
are and
feiticeiro
whether or not you
dedicado à
want to prep
transfiguração.
on the fly, or
Tipo,
with
transformar gajos em
evolution,
tudo,
and
em
those are
todas
all
as
good
merdas.
options.
That is so
But
cool
todas,
because like
deadline.
like I see so much like going on the stream, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but
You're
that
our
ancient
audience.
magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and
Yeah, no
potions,
say.
we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away,
Okay.
and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space
É em
that
fevereiro,
actually has
Kit.
some utility as well, where you get to
Onde é que vamos?
brew
20
things and
minutos.
grow
Faltam
things,
14,
and
15, 13 minutos.
also care for some beasts.
Ok.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Room of
esta parte
Requirement,
já tínhamos meio que visto.
wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but
Wow.
actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel
Não sei,
like
Keta, não faço ideia.
your reflection as a wizard. So you can
Ou quando
change
sair.
the
Recomendas comprar agora
architecture in
quando
here.
sair.
What?
Comprar agora o quê? O jogo?
Different
Pá, na
themes
Instant o jogo está com uma
throughout,
promoção do
starkly
caraças,
different
malta.
themes,
Mais vale irem lá
to
dar
really
pre-order.
just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
god, what? This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my god.
Bro, what the fuck, man?
That's the thing is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a
Ai,
bunch
bro.
of little
Mano, olha
things that
que isto-
really
mano, olha
flesh out
que
this
javardice.
space and bring it to life.
Oh my god. Look,
Que
like
javardice.
we had
Por
an
amor de Deus.
idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can
isto- man,
change. But
isto
you can
está-me a
do
irritar.
all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like, there's a.
Queres jogar isto agora? Deixa-me jogar!
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the
Oh,
world,
bro,
you'll
por
be
amor de Deus.
rewarded with different objects.
That's so cool. And you change color.
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my god, it's so tiny. It's like for Baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character. But the way you blended like that gameplay with
Yeah.
the immersive design of
percebes
personalizing.
porque
Oh
é
my
que
god,
estes
like
gajos
I love the
adiaram isto.
animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful, and that was the thing is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical.
Bro,
we really
Jesus
wanted to
Christ.
nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those. as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Mano, era que fixe, bro.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing-based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Yeah, we
Mano,
keep
isto
bringing
está-me
up
a
the
custar a
appearance
acreditar.
and how it looks. And,
Está a acontecer.
And in the game, you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to. But the player will be finding different
Mano, eu
types
só espero
of
sobreviver
gear,
até fevereiro.
as you progress
Tipo,
through
é a
the
única
game.
coisa que eu
And essentially,
quero.
we just know that
Deixem-me
clothes and
sobreviver
different
até
items in
fevereiro.
the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities.
Eu acho que não era má
and
ideia eu
that
comprar
can
isto
help you in
para.
your journey and are a major part of
para
you kind of
PlayStation.
growing as a wizard.
Até
and
porque
advancing
imaginem,
as
se
a
a
wizard.
Sara quiser
And
jogar,
so,
There's a huge list.
eu logo vejo como é que vai ser.
not
Mas se
all
a
the
Sara
time,
quiser jogar, eu posso levar a PlayStation para casa.
whenever you get a new
coisa
piece
do
of
género.
gear, you don't necessarily know exactly
eu
what
sou-
it does.
mano, imagina.
And so there's a
A
station
menos que
inside
esteja no
of the room
sítio à hora
of the
errada,
farm that you
porque
can
na minha
conjure.
zona
It's one of the first
de
things
vida.
you
Mano, para eu
conjure,
estar com problemas de
called an
cheias,
identification
toda a
stick,
Lisboa
where you
tem que
can
estar a
actually
nadar. Eu já disse
bring
isto várias vezes.
that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as this space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new
Jesus Christ.
recipes, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding, and as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear.
Ai vai,
and
o
take
jogo vai
any
para
piece of gear
para
and
o Game Pass
adjust
da
its
Xbox.
properties
Onde é que viste
and
isso,
tweak
bro?
what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of
jogo que está no
we
Game
call it,
Pass.
or cosmetics we've been referring to it in
Right.
this stream. Those types of things you can
40
use
horas
and
de
you can
campanha
apply a
principal,
look
lindo,
to any other look. So
Lindo,
if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap
Yeah.
that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically
Mano, eu duvido que o
about
jogo vá para o Game
applying
Pass, bro. Como é que tu viste isso,
traits
Atomic?
and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that
Okay.
blend in nicely with where
Fixe.
you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or
Não
talent.
parecia, bro. Isso era bué da weird.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just
What the
like
fuck, nem fazia
pumpkin
sentido lançamento
fur,
deste tipo ao
mooncat
Game Pass.
fur. Where does that come
Já.
from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and
Talvez
upgrade your
mais-
gear are based around beasts.
Talvez mais-
So this
mais
is where we
tarde,
get into
só
the
se for.
beast care section, which is inside this vivario. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a
mais tarde,
niffler
okay.
And a neasel as well. So
Oh my
quite a
God.
Pois,
variety.
exato.
Oh
Mais
my
tarde.
god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so cute.
cuddling. Oh my god, they're
Mais tarde
together.
acredito.
Oh,
No,
that's
bro.
so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc.
Oh, man, que
that can then
fixe,
be
bro.
used in your gear.
That is like so like intuitive because like you know that makes sense
don't
because
need
when you
fur.
touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's
Vão à
so.
praia,
Oh my God.
vão, sei
Yeah,
lá,
we really
vão às putas.
Outro dia chegou um jornalista da CMTV à minha beira e perguntou-me se eu conhecia uma boa costureira. E eu disse, não vou tecer comentários.
want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this
Uau,
space.
mano, e olhem para esta merda.
Goodness, no, this is like I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have this little play area, like a personalized fish tank, so to say, just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can play with your beasts. You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toys. So as you can imagine, the moon calf really likes the moon ball, or the Neasel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Mano, o Cyberpunk não foi assim tão mostrado quanto isto está a ser mostrado.
Just gigantic. But he looks like my dog.
E o jogo está tipo, mano, eu estou a ver este gameplay e parece-me estar estável, mano. Não sei em que build é que eles estão a jogar isto,
well, so like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a
podem dar
graph line here,
nomes.
like
Ok, boa.
this can be
Isto
named,
está a ser jogado na PS5. Mano, duvido. Olhem, se este gameplay está a ser mostrado na PS5, eu achava que estava a ser mostrado num PC absurdo. Ok? Achava mesmo que estavam a mostrar isto num PC tipo jardadíssimo. Ok? Bro, mano, caguem nisto. Tipo, mano, o jogo está do caralho.
Andrew's about to name
Está do caralho. Isto a ser jogado numa PlayStation 5 e está assim. Bro.
You know, we've created
Caguem nisso, mano.
And you
Já vi.
get additional vivariums, correct?
Bro, olha como caraças. Ok, vou dar pre-order a isto para a PlayStation. Caguei. Tipo, eu tenho no PC, vou ter na Steam, mas vou dar para a PlayStation.
Progression is a big part of this space.
Eu não sei
as
como é que o
well.
jogo vai estar no PC, pá. Eu tenho algum receio que o meu PC se esconda PC
vivariums. So as you can see, this
a fazer
one's quite
stream
meadow
disto.
themed.
É mais
big,
safe
open,
jogar isto na
bright.
PlayStation.
But there's other
Honestamente.
ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter.
E se eu
And it's
preciso
really a
comprar
visual
passar na
effect
Xbox
to,
Series
and
X.
more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance, and then some shrubbery
tem
going
extra
on
quests,
the right.
yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah. Oh, you put trees in here too.
Acho que ainda não, bro. Não sei.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to the same kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
everything connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and
Mano, mas
play around
Gomes,
in
nós
the
vimos
open
isso
world.
agora, bro. E não me pareceu assim tão travada.
Different,
Vimos a gameplay de combate agora.
in those different environments, like
Não
the
pareceu
different
muito mal
combat
todo.
and
Como é que é
conflicts
possível?
and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the Overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything.
É 8
That's found
GB
throughout
de
the world.
memória.
Forgeables are used for recipes.
Pá, a
So
Sarah
really
consegue
everything's
jogar
a
no
cycle
PC,
and
mas
keeps
eu acho
coming
que é
back.
But even
arriscado.
with the story that's being told too,
Acho que o
I
melhor
think people know
casas
what
não
coffee
podes
is
ter
and-
é a
and,
tua
that
personalized
she has
place,
a
que é
particular
onde este gajo está
affinity for
agora.
beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world.
Sim, sai,
and
é mais
this is just kind of the
cedo.
tip of the
Tens,
iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative.
tens
So,
coisas,
you know, you're
tens
bringing up Poppy.
early access.
There are more kind of
tens uma
mysteries to
casa ali,
discover and
sim.
things to
Dentro
discover
do
around
teu
the world
espaço
that
podes
have
ter
to do with
sítios,
her
acho
and
eu.
that have to do with caring for
Podes
beasts.
ter casas, sim,
So
aqui
different
dentro
characters
deste
have
sítio.
their own stuff.
Tens estruturas aqui dentro.
That just kind of make this all just kind of the beginning, the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
Ok, vou dar pre-order a isto para a PlayStation.
This is,
Caguei.
I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so
Temos a
detailed,
Xbox
and there's
Series
so
X,
many
só
things
queria
to do,
estar a
like
gastar
the
dinheiro
combat, we're gonna
em
spend
duas
like
versões do
2
jogo.
weeks or more
E eu
just
já tenho
breaking it
pre-order
down
na
by
Steam.
pieces. there's just so
Pela
much
instant. Não gastei dinheiro, mas
to this
pá.
world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
Mas eu sei que a
And
Sarah
that's
vai querer
just
jogar
the
isto.
tip of the iceberg. We've
Portanto, pá, tipo,
got
sei
more
lá,
for you to
bro.
discover
Mano,
and
se calhar
find on your own.
compro os
Thank
dois.
you for so
Caguei.
much for being here. Thank you for
It is what
watching.
it is.
Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition.
Ok,
We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you.
ok.
Bye!
Qual é a surprise? É um trailer? Ah, é aquilo que vocês estavam a falar, né? Ok. Yeah, man. Vou dar pre-order. Vou dar pre-order a isto. Caguei. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Pronto. Convenceram-me. Convenceram-me. Quanto é que está? Deixa-me só ver. PlayStation, Hogwarts Legacy, PS5, Deluxe Edition. PS Store. Quanto é que está? 84? Jesus fucking Christ, meu dinheiro. Ah, vá. Há mais alguma? Esta é a mais cara, não é? Mano, imaginem. Pá, se alguma vez valeu a pena gastar um dinheirão num jogo, vai ser neste jogo. Portanto, foda-se. Tipo, acho que vamos gastar. Ora, que se lixe. Que se foda. Vai ser, malta. Olha, espetacular. Incrível. Fascinante.